Hello and welcome to Steve's Backyard Bonsai. This may end up being the most difficult and hard to maintain of all of my bonsais, but I'm up for the challenge. This is my wild grape Penjing. These are grapes that grow everywhere on Long Island. You find them growing pretty much everywhere. Wherever there's something for it to grow up on, it grows up. So one of the things I learned recently, once again by watching Nigel Saunders, is that this will not thicken up if you just allow it to grow. If you notice, there's hardly any taper to these long shoots. But as you cut them back, the lower parts of it will get stronger, and we should get a nice base, which should look pretty good in the wintertime with no leaves on them. The little daisies in the pots are doing pretty well. I got to rotate this because this was the sun side, and while this plant doesn't quite have as many flowers as that one, it is getting more as we speak. All right, let's get started. This is a fun thing, but it's also a very difficult one. So here we go. All right. This is the front. First thing I want to do is I want to bring more growth along the bottom section. So in order to do that, I would like it to adhere to that wire there, or to be low down on that wire there. I will have to cut this here and cut this leaf off, and I will pin it to that wire. My hopes here is that I will get more lattice work up from the lower section. All right. And it's going to be a mess of these cable ties, but hopefully when this main structure lignifies, this won't be as much of a struggle. Make that a little tighter, which I just made a little more difficult. There we go. Now, hopefully that'll send up a lot of shoots, along with the one that's behind it coming from the back. So let's see what's going on this side, and if I have any. Well, here's a vertical one that I can put in between these two, the captive wires, or the capture wires, I think they're called. And this one's getting a little too long, but it fortunately has a vertical shoot right there. So I'm going to cut this one short here and see if I can't get that vertical shoot into the capture wires. Let's see. Kind of already is, actually. So I'm gonna remove a leaf here. And I think what I want to do is put another cable tie right there. I just want you to see what I'm doing, and then I'll go into time lapse. And I'm thinking this has a serious pruning in the fall, when there are no more leaves on the branches. I'll prune back to something pleasing. How about this one? You know what? This is a little weak. I'm going to cut it down to here, and that opens that area up just for a more pleasing viewing experience. All right, this one. I think since this one comes forward, I don't want it at all. You know, I'm trying for something specific here. Something that looks like a miniature grapevine. So in keeping with that, I think I'm going to cut this here. I really want that to stay there. How do I do that? I don't know. It's not really appropriate to do this because the strength of those of these shoots is so small. That's not what I mean to say. The strength is so weak. I'm going to let this stay the way it is, and I'll just train it up later. Now we're getting to the beef of this, just right here in the middle. And what do I want? I want more vertical shoots there. This section here has a leaf that goes out in that direction. I think it should just go straight up, so I'm going to take this whole thing off. So now this coming up divides here and then goes straight up. I think I want to drive this over this way, and I want to tie this off right there. And I will leave that like that until next spring, when everything starts growing, and then I may cut these off, depending on how strong everything seems to be. Now these will not make marks, at least I hope not, and I plan to cut them off before they would even come close to that. So that's been pulled over. I could further pull it over up here. But I think I'll just let it grow and cut it off right there. The continuation is already started. That little growth right there. And that should go off in this direction. Yeah. That should be on that side. Okay, that's got that side pruned up, but this is a little weird, this crossing here. I may decide to just lop that off right there and forfeit all of this next year. We'll see how it looks. All right, let me go the other side and work on this side. All right. This is tough to think about here, but I think I'm going to lose this whole piece right here. Goodbye. It's gone. And this one as well. And hopefully you can see what I'm trying to get at here. This is growing back, this leaf, but at its base is a little shoot coming out that way, which would go vertical. So I'm going to take this leaf off. And this one, which has become captured. I'm going to take this leaf off. I'm going to cut it right here. And I'm going to pull that down. Put it between the capture wires. And tie it off to the back one. All right, and a good goal would be to have this lignify and this lignify this year. All right, I'm going to cut off some of these larger leaves. And let some new smaller leaves generate. This one. And a few that are blocking the flowers, or can I do something with them? This is ideally what I want to do with them. Just going to cut off that set of leaves, see what develops. Okay, now to the big tall ones. I'm going to clean this up here. Anything else like that need cleaning? Oh, I said I'd go into fast mode, didn't I? Why don't I do the rest of it a little more quickly? All right, so here it is, my wild grape Penjing, looking just a little less wild and maybe set up more appropriately for the rest of the growth this summer. So what do you think? Please leave a comment. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Let me put a cable tie right there. Share this. But my little fun wild grape Penjing with the daisies at the end of the rows. Let's say the wild grape Vineyard Penjing is coming along nicely. Thanks for keeping me company in my backyard.